Okay, a very good evening, everyone. So we'll be starting off with the business session. So there's only one update on behalf of the Vice President of Education, Toastmasters Sanjana, regarding the role takers for next week. So there's one speech slot booked by a guest speaker from a different club called Toastmasters Sanjay, and apart from that, all other roles are open. Anybody interested can contact Sanjana. That's all, and back to the subject.
A very good evening to all my fellow Toastmasters and my esteemed guest. Morning I was heading towards the supermarket and I stopped at the signal and I was at the front. When the signal timer went to 7, 6, 5 and still there was 5 more seconds for the green signal, but I could already hear a lot of honking from behind because we got no chill, bro. We have patience to wait for 115 minutes, but 115 seconds, but last 5 seconds, no, we lose it all. We are like this only. I went to the supermarket. I saw a lady who was picking up items. She was not picking up the items that were in the front of the shelf, but she was only picking up the items which was at least 2 or 3 packets behind. We believe that those items are much better and neat and are not tampered. That's why she started picking the items which were behind the shelf. So we are like this only. After running errands, I came back home. I opened the fridge and I was shocked to see that there was a new ice cream box in the fridge. I was drooling and I took out the box to eat. But for my bewilderment, it wasn't ice cream, but just a pickle which my mom had prepared. So why pickle in an ice cream dabba? No idea. We are like this only. We started the meeting today at sharp 6:16 p.m. Every time it used to be late, but today we broke the taboo of we are like this only and we started on time. So I'll not okay, one thing that clicks to your mind when you hear rules or instructions is no one should follow it, right? Like if you listen to rules or instructions, first thing that clicks to your mind is no one will follow it. So today let me not tell it to you as a rule or instruction. Instead, we'll just challenge ourselves to put our phones on silent mode and make sure to not hamper the meeting process. And I'll be giving 5 seconds to do so. We have a bigwig and a cheerful person with us today. I have known him from past 5 years and one thing has not changed in him at all. If you have a conversation with him, I am 100% sure within 5 minutes, he will bring a big smile on your face. He is like this only. He is a BCom graduate, currently working in PwC, a dog lover, a stock market enthusiast, loves to travel and to read books. Please help me welcome our President Toastmaster Gaurav with a huge round of applause.
A very good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and all the guests present here. So I see there are 3 guests in this meeting room, and I request the guests to please raise from where you have seated and introduce yourself. We'll be starting off on the
Good evening, everyone. My name is Apoorva. I'm currently doing my CA. I'm a CA final student and I'm working with K Prabhakara as well. So I'm here to, I actually didn't have to join as a guest because I was really ambitious to join this club because I've seen a lot of my friends, cousins do really well after joining this club. So thank you for letting me in here and being a part of this meeting with you all.
Hello everyone, my name is Satish. I'm an aspiring product manager. I heard about Toastmasters through YouTube. This is my second time here as a guest, so eager to learn.
Hello everybody, I'm Brigu. It's a bit of a weird name, but this is my first time at Toastmasters. This guy introduced me to it like a few years ago. So during the height of the pandemic, I think I called one of the club people over here and they're like, do I have to spell it out to you that it's not there? So it was actually kind of funny that I wanted to come here a long time, and this is the day. I'm a product designer. I live here in Bangalore itself, and currently my company shut down. So just doing stuff which passes time. Yeah.
I welcome all the guests and I hope you guys become members soon. So with this we'll be jumping off with the minutes of the meeting number 1214, and I request Toastmaster Pavani to read up the minutes of the meeting.
Once again, a very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Here are the minutes of meeting number 1214 held on 22nd of May 2023. Theme Curls and Curves. Word of the week, Reciprocal. The business session started at 6:23 p.m. and was chaired by President Toastmaster Gaurav. In the business session, the following points were addressed. President Toastmaster Gaurav mentioned that Toastmaster Balaji AAS was the runner-up in both International Speech Contest and Evaluation Contest at the district conference. He also mentioned that the club won the Social Media Presence Award and commended Toastmaster Shivaprasad and Toastmaster Snehal for the same. He also mentioned that the club had won the Renewal Rockstar Ribbon and commended Toastmaster Ujwal for the same. He also mentioned that the club has secured the Spirit of 121 Award and Hall of Fame Bronze Award. He also mentioned that Toastmaster Sindhushree, DTM Udanka and DTM Subramaniam were recognized for their service as district officers in the previous term. He also mentioned that DTM Udanka was selected as the Public Relationship Manager for District 121 for the next program year. Vice President Education Toastmaster Sanjana mentioned that all roles except for MC and a speech slot were open for the next meeting. Interested members were requested to contact her for the same. The regular meeting started at 6:29 p.m. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Sharanye started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and later handed over the charge to President Toastmaster Gaurav. President Toastmaster Gaurav opened the meeting, spoke on the theme and introduced the Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Mamata. Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Mamata spoke on the theme and introduced the following role takers for the day. Timer Toastmaster Sanjana, Accountant Toastmaster Sharanye, Grammarian Toastmaster Shivaprasad, PP Evaluator DTM U Bhat. The prepared speech session had the following speeches. Speaker 1 Toastmaster Raja, attempting Project 1 Level 2, Level 2 Project 1, evaluated by Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Pavani, attempting Level 1 Project 3, evaluated by Toastmaster Lakshmi. The table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Ujwal and had 10 speakers in total. The general evaluation was conducted by Toastmaster Jyothi. The winners of the week were Best Prepared Speaker Toastmaster Raja, Best Evaluator Toastmaster Lakshmi, Best Table Topic Speaker Toastmaster Shivaprasad, Best Role Taker Tab G Toastmaster Shivaprasad, Best Role Taker MTG Toastmaster Ujwal. The President closed the meeting at 8:23 p.m. which was followed by the National Anthem. Thank you and back to you, President.
Okay, sorry for that. The the door was open, so a little bit of OCD in me kicked in, so I have to close it. So thank you, Toastmaster Pavani. Is there any changes in the MOM? If not, I open meeting number 121. Yesterday I had been out with my parents, and of course many of you would have heard this term, we are like this only from so many of our Indians. So I had been out with my parents and we had been to Kormangla. So we had some work to take care of. So we had parked the vehicle next to the main road, there was a parking lot. So we have parked it, and after finishing the work, we thought of going back home. So we started removing the car behind, and as it was a main road, there were so many vehicles were just crossing around, and nobody had the patience to wait for us to remove the car and then proceed ahead. So we were just waiting there like for 10-15 minutes, and no one was willing to stop for a few minutes to ensure that we are out from the parking lot. My mother, who was sitting in front, she got very frustrated. She like, we are like this only, our people will never learn. We lack patience. How much ever you tell them, they'll never listen. They always care for themselves. Our people are very selfish. I got a thought in my head that so many times I've seen my mother who had been in that situation where someone else would be removing the car and she didn't have the patience to wait. Even she would have gone. So I thought of pointing out, saying that even you have done this in the past. but I didn't do so because she was the one who was going to serve me dinner that night. So I kept quiet. So when I listen to this, we are like this only. It means there are few situations or experiences that I have had, and I'm sure everyone present here would have experienced this. Once I had been to this movie theater to watch a movie with my parents, of course, and you know, whenever I go to a movie, there will be this one person, even though there will be a disclaimer on the screen saying that please keep your electronic gadgets on silent mode so that it doesn't disturb the atmosphere in the theater. But there will be that one person who have neglected reading the disclaimer or will be in that attitude that rules are meant to be broken. So he'll forget to keep his phone on silent. And in middle of the movie, the villain is about to kidnap the heroine. I mean, such climax, I mean, such dramatic scene. All of a sudden, there'll be that guy's phone ringing with some weird ringtone. And the entire ambience in the theater is ruined. And the best part is that, you know, when there is a phone ring, you can just click one button on your phone to silent it off, but that person would like to remove his phone, see who is calling, decide whether to pick it up or not to pick it up, and you know, throughout this entire scenario, the phone will continuously ringing. And then he picks it up and he shouts at top of his voice saying, I am in the movies. Please stop calling me, I'll call you right back. He can do that by text also, but no, he prefers to pick it up and shout at his peak voice. After the movie, I was going back home with my parents, and my dad says that, you know, we get only one Sunday to peacefully watch a movie and enjoy. But there'll be that one person who always disturbs the, you know, that peace time that we get. Again, I got one more thought. My dad used to be that person long back, where he used to forget to keep his phone on silent, and me constantly reminding him, he made it a habit to keep his phone on silent. So I thought of saying, you were that person one day. Maybe that person will learn from his own mistake like you did. So maybe you can give him another chance, but I didn't point it out because he is the one who gives me pocket money, so I had to keep quiet. Coming to the last scenario, when I'm sure everyone would have been to a supermarket, you will find weirdest of people in supermarket, trust me. So I had been to a supermarket. There was a huge queue in building. I was the second person in line. The person who was in front of me, we have waited for more than 10 minutes. So person who was in front of me was about to give his items for billing. The one more person just ran in between and he's like, I just have this one item. Can I please do this billing? I've parked my car in a no parking and there's my daughter inside the car, so I just want to finish this billing and go back. The person who was in front of me got very frustrated. Like, do you have common sense? Do you know this is a queue? You have to follow the line system. I've been waiting here for more than 20 minutes. I don't care where you parked your vehicle. That guy who just came, he also got frustrated. They were arguing for 10 minutes there. You know, why can't you do me? Like, I can't leave you on. I got one more thought that time. The person who was in a hurry had 10 minutes of time to argue with the person, but instead he didn't have time to just stand behind me and wait for other 10 minutes to get his turn. And the person who was in front of me was not sensible enough to understand the other guy's situation and maybe just spare one more minute so that this guy's billing is done and he can carry forward. So all I want to say from all these three situations is that it's very easy to point out at others' mistake. But when it comes to you, you won't realize that you are also done that long back. So what I do is, instead of telling people that, you know, what you're doing is wrong, I would ensure that I don't want to be that person who would disturb the other people. I don't want to be that person where someone looks at me and say, we are like this something. So I just ensure that, you know, whatever you do, have a little bit of patience. That is what many people lack, I feel, nowadays. And just step into other people's shoes and see what can be the best way you can do to help the other person. So with this, I'd like to call the Master of Ceremonies for the day. He's a BCom graduate from SBM Jain Union College, currently pursuing USCPA along with MCom from Jain University. He describes himself as a passionate quizzer who enjoys playing table tennis, cricket and badminton. He is that one person who got this habit of sending MOM on every Tuesday at 7 a.m. And I am glad that he passed on that habit to the next secretary. With this huge round of applause, please help me welcome MC Toastmaster Shiva.
Thank you, Gaurav, for that wonderful introduction. I am definitely sure all our members here, or at least a few of you, after having received that MOM yesterday or having seen that poster today and looking at that theme, we are like this only. This Shiva, so self-obsessed, so self-centered. He thinks he's some big wig. He wants to make everything about himself. So he wants to hear everybody say out the title of his own speech. We are like this only, we are like this only, again and again. That is why I skipped this thing. But all that is true. But we are like this only is the title of a very nice song from a Bollywood movie called Gippy. That is why this theme for today. And Gippy is a movie about a very young, insecure and extremely awkward teenage girl who finally learns, by the end of the movie, she learns to accept herself and love herself for who she is. And I thought in that aspect, all of us can learn to accept ourselves and say, in a positive sense, that we are like this only. And another place where over the past 100 years, people have been coming and learning to accept themselves for who they are is called Toastmasters, a non-profit organization started in the year 1924, where Dr. Ralph C. Smedley started the first ever Toastmasters club in the United States of America. And since then, Toastmasters has grown into a global network of over 280,000 members in over 144 countries with over 14,700 member clubs. One such club that you are seated in today, Mekong Communication Club, has been around and will be celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. And hundreds of Toastmasters have come and gone, hundreds of clubs have started, they've gone, but Mekong has been here, right, for very long, and I believe, and that is because Mekong has its own style, and for 25 years we have been saying, we are like this only. Now there are a lot of guests in the meeting room here today, so let me explain how a typical Toastmaster meeting goes. So first we will have a prepared speech session, right? A couple of Toastmasters have prepared well in advance based on their project guidelines and their pathway, and they'll be giving a 5 to 7 minute speech which will be evaluated by a couple of individual evaluators later on. Then we shall have the most exciting session, the table topic session, wherein one person will come here, randomly give topics out to people, and you will have to come here and speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Finally, the most important session, the general evaluation session, wherein one person who is not wearing his tie today will be coming here and telling everybody what went well today, what didn't go so well, and giving us suggestions, improvements to improve the quality of the meetings. Now in every Toastmasters meeting we have a few role takers who ensure that the quality is not compromised. So let me start off, and as and when I call out these role takers, they will explain what their role means and what they will be doing. So first we have the timer for today, Toastmaster Pavani.
A very good evening, everyone. As I told you in the beginning itself, if it is a rule or instruction, will not be following. So let's challenge ourselves and stick to the time allotted. As a timer for today, I'll be taking note of the time taken by all the speakers behind the lectern. For the prepared speech session, the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll be showing the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow card, and at 7 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. Coming to the table topic session, the time allotted will be 1 to 2 minutes. For 1 minute, I'll be showing the green card. For 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll be showing the yellow card. And for 2 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. Coming to the general evaluation session, the individual evaluators will be allotted 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be showing the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll be showing the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. I'll be giving my report at the end of the session, and I'll be back to you, MC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pavani. Next, we shall have a debutant role taker. So I request you to give her a huge round of applause. The archon for today, Toastmaster Mehjabin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva. Today I have the honor of serving as the accounter. The role of accounter is an important one, is helping us become more aware of our speech patterns and improve our overall communication skills. As the accounter, my main responsibility is to listen attentively to the speeches and make note of any filler words or vocal pauses used by speakers. Throughout the meeting, I'll be specifically focusing on words like like, you know, and any other unnecessary pauses or verbal fillers. By doing so, I am aimed to provide constructive feedback that will help our speakers enhance in clarity, fluency, and impact of their speeches. At the end of the meeting, during my report, I'll share my observations. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehjabin. Next, we have the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator, Toastmaster Jyothi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My role today is of the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator. My role is to ensure that we all are like this only. How? First, put your cell phone in silent or switch off mode, and then I shall tell you if you have not done it. So if you tell me that I am like this only, then it is your purpose and your perception. But we at Toastmasters Mekong Communication Club are like this only. We refrain from talking about sex, politics and religion. We exit and come in during applause only, and we avoid talking crosstalk so as to not to disturb the speakers. Say cheers if you all agree with me that we are all like this only. And I shall give my report at the end during the general evaluation. And over to the MC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jyothi. Indeed, we are like this one. Next, as I told you, the club has been around for 25 years, and so has our veteran member, DTM K Prabhakara, who is the Grammarian for today.
My job as a grammarian is to keep track of good usages of grammar and not so good usages of grammar, and usage of the word of the day, the big wig, and with that I will be giving the report during the general evaluation session.
Thank you, DTM AK Prabhakara. Let us get started off with the first session for today, the prepared speech session. Before I call the first speaker, I'd like to call her evaluator, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, to read out the project guidance.
Good evening, Toastmasters, welcome guests. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate their ability to deliver an effective, respectable speech, evaluation speech. Notes for the evaluator. During the completion of this project, the member received feedback about their first speech. Work to apply the feedback to a second speech. About this speech, the member will deliver a well-organized speech on any topic and incorporate feedback from their previous speech evaluation. The member may choose to present the same speech, a revision of their first evaluation and feedback speech, or a new speech. All the best to the speaker. Back to MC of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. Our first prepared speaker for the day is a BCom graduate who is currently pursuing her chartered accountancy. She loves singing, she is passionate about the language Sanskrit, and she also loves baking and sketching. And one thing that I've learned from this person is it doesn't matter if Kareena Kapoor changes 10 clothes during 10 sets of outfits during a song, you can just wear one outfit and tell everyone that we are like this only. With her speech titled Born With It or Made For It, please give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Shivaprasad.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva. Be a better version of what you were yesterday to be the best version of what you are going to be tomorrow. Be like a torch where you will not just spread light, but where you are, there's no darkness. Master of Ceremonies for your Toastmasters and dear guests present here. In a class of 60 students, there was this one girl who always used to sit in the first bench. She used to study well, participate in all the co-curricular activities, and she was a class leader. She always had the record of winning the singing competition. But this time, she just did not lose once, but she lost twice. The first time she lost, she just looked at the award and told, "This cup is going to be mine," like how RCB tells Mundin Sala Cup Namde. Exactly like that, she lost the second time too. This time, she was shattered. She was sad, and this affected her studies too. She entered her 5th grade with no hopes. The girl who was so talkative could just stay quiet. The girl who used to study well, was enthusiastic and used to participate in all the events, just stopped concentrating on all aspects of life. This did not continue for 1 year, not even for 2 years, not even for 3 years, but this continued for 4 long years. Every parent-teacher meeting, the teacher always used to complain to the mother, "Why is she like this? She's not talkative, she's not in a notorious group, nor she's in the first bench. Why is she like this?" The parents got worried and asked her, "What is wrong with you? What are you thinking? What happened to you suddenly?" Every mid of academic year, there used to be this happening dance competition for which the role of MC always used to be demanding. It was that time of the year, all her classmates were participating for the role of MC, but this girl was just sitting in that one corner and she did not even think of participating. The teacher saw this girl and asked her, "Hey, why are you not participating?" This girl just nodded her head and gave a signal that she did not want to participate. As soon as the class got over, the teacher took her out and asked why she did not want to participate. The girl just replied in one line, "I am like this only, and I don't want to do it." The teacher immediately went to the library, bought a storybook, and told her to read a paragraph. This girl just thought to herself that maybe the teacher is testing that she knows English or not, or just testing if she had a voice or not. She just read this paragraph and went back to her class. At the end of the day, the teacher came and she announced the MC. Who was it? It was this girl, and all her classmates were shocked. They just came to a conclusion that this girl went out of the class to bribe the teacher. More than anyone else, this girl herself was shocked. And she was also sad. There was just 1 week left for this competition, and she just thought to herself, what is the worst case scenario? I've already disappointed everyone. People don't even know I exist. So if I perform bad, also it's okay. They will know I exist, at least for the wrong reasons. And it was the day of the competition. She hosted. Could she host well? Could she talk in front of everyone there? She just did not do good, but she was excellent at it. She proved that she was right, and she also showed her existence for all the right reasons. And immediately after this event, the teacher, the principal, went directly to her and told her to give a speech in 10th grade for the annual day in front of all the parents in the auditorium. And now she started feeling worked. Immediately after this came the midterm results. In one language, she had scored 60, and that language teacher called her out and asked, "What is wrong with you? Just put in a little more hard work and your potential to do well." This girl again just replied in one line, "I am like this only, and I cannot do it." The teacher told her to go an extra mile, told her to work hard a little bit, and the board results were out. Could she score above 60? Did she do well? She just did not score above 60, but she stood third for the whole school in that language. After school, she entered college. In her college, she thought with all new hopes, she went to the college and thought it is a new start. The first day, the teacher came and asked, "Children, who want to be class representatives here?" Out of 60 people, 30 to 40 of them wanted to be class representatives. The teacher just wrote down their names, made it into chits and put it into bowl. She started picking 4 names. This girl just hoped, just prayed to all the gods possible that she wanted it. The teacher picked up the 4th name, and it was not her. The teacher picked up the 3rd name, and again it was not her. The teacher picked up the 2nd name, and it was not her. Now she lost all hopes. The teacher picked up the 1st name, and it was not her. Again she started feeling worthless. Again she wanted to go back to her cocoon. And now the professor came to the picture and told her, "Be a better version of what you're going to be yesterday to have the best version of what you're going to be tomorrow. Be like a torch which will not only spread all around, but where you are, there's no darkness." And again, it was that time of the year where the teacher came and asked, "Children, who want to be class representatives?" And again, this girl raised her hands. And this time, the teacher asked them to come on the stage, give a speech, and this time it was not chits, it was, the vote was by show of hands. This girl took part, and she did not win by picking up the chits, but she won by show of hands. She became a class representative. The story I am telling about is not inspired from Tare Zameen Par movie. But the girl in this story was me. It was Shivaprasad there. For every Ishan, there is Ram Shankar Nikum. But for me, there were a lot of big wigs who helped me for being here. There are some people like Rohit Sharma and Ranveer Kapoor who are born with it. And there are also some kings and queens like Deepika Padukone and Virat Kohli who are made for it. It's just that one person we have to support, and they can do wonders. They are capable of doing everything. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharanye, for that wonderful speech. And if you listen to her speech and from the rumors, you think I've bribed anybody to be the MC today? That is not true. Did you all enjoy that speech?
Yes.
Great. Another energetic speaker coming up, but before that, let us have his evaluator, DTM U Bhat, read out the guidelines.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. This is about vocal variety. The speaker is practicing vocal variety. But this is, evaluation of this project is different from any other evaluation. It is some special project where for this project, the evaluator completes a speech profile of the speaker as far as the voice and voice modulation is concerned. So you may say that this is a project not only for the speaker, it is for the evaluator also. Because he has to go through the complete speech guidelines and prepare the speech profile of the speaker as far as the voice modulation goes. The speech profile resource is designed to identify vocal variety skills the speaker uses effectively and those that can be improved. The purpose statement says the purpose of this project is for the member to practice using a vocal variety to enhance a speech. During the completion of this project, the members spend time developing and improving his or her vocal variety. The member will present a well-organized speech on any topic, listen for how the member uses his or her voice to communicate and enhance the speech. It is not only about his speech, how he listens to other speech as far as the voice modulation goes. That is the project about that. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style of member chooses. The speech is not a report on the comment of understanding vocal variety project. Use the speech profile resource to complete your evaluation. Time allowed, 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker and to the evaluator. Back to the speaker.
Thank you, DTM U Bhat. Our second prepared speaker for today is a computer science engineer, a passionate photographer who aims to be a wildlife photographer one day. He loves traveling, trekking and hiking. He's also the record holder at the Indian Book of World Records for being the youngest distinguished Toastmaster through Pathways. And he's a past president of the club. He has been an area director, a division director, and currently has been elected as the public relations manager for District 121. As far as if you ask me, I would tell you that he's one of the most committed Toastmasters, right? No matter what happens, no matter what his manager says on a Monday evening, somehow by hook or crook, he has to come here, and doesn't matter what his manager thinks, we are like this one. With a big round of applause, please welcome our second speaker for today with his speech titled First Night in Goa. First Night in Goa, DTM Udanka.
How many of you dreamt or still dreaming to go to Goa with your friends? Master Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests, a great good evening. This dream was fulfilled by my college last year, and I had a few opportunities here because one, it was named as industrial visit to Goa for an engineer, which made me easy to convince at home. Second, I was the big for the event or the trip because I was the student coordinator. With a lot of hustle, lot of fight in the college because I had a Toastmaster conference to attend on the same weekend. With a lot of confusions, lot of quarrels between the management, we finally were on set to Goa. Goa was on. Along with 42 kids or my fellow students, 6 of male and female teachers and non-teaching staff, we were all set to Goa. We reached Goa the next day morning and we saw a beautiful resort in front of us. Small cottages had 2 or 3 rooms in one building, and there were plenty of that. We got freshened up, went to Fort Agoda, followed by a mesmerizing beachside lunch, relaxing river cruise in Goa, and now was our time to enjoy the real Goa. Whatever the travel agent was planned for the day was done, and now whatever we had planned back in Bangalore was there to be executed. A case of beer, a pile of woods to be set on fire, to have a fire camp, and a few close friends who were all set to enjoy the night there. When I was about to light the fire camp, I got a call from my sir. Nam session start agide, alli Sulaiman room problem agide, hog nodu. Translating, my session has started. There's a problem in Sulaiman's room, go check. You all know what the session is, right? I went there, I just opened the door, and I was horrified seeing the view there. One of my friend is on the couch. One of my friend is on the dressing table. One of my friend is on the teapot, and the extra bed was inverted on the ground. The other friend taking his slippers and banging it very hardly. I don't know for what. I just asked him, what just happened here? And I see one insect coming out of it. It did not have one leg, it did not have 2 legs, it did not have 3 legs, but 16 legs. You all know what the creature is. And that was not the alone insect there. It followed by its entire family, one after the other, one after the other. 8 Jerrys came out of the bed. It was a moment that we could not leave there or could not stay there anymore. So we went back to the management and asked for a room change. They gave us a room change and Suleiman and his troop went and settled down there. When I was about to light it again, the fire camp, I get a call from my friend saying she was high with fever and needs to be treated immediately. With a big sigh, went to her, took her to the nearest hospital. And the point was, I was in a mindset that I'll go there, rush, get her injected and come back. I started driving and I could see plenty of bars, plenty of pubs, plenty of cafes. I drove for 40 kilometers. I did not find one medical shop or one hospital. That is Goa for you. After driving 40 kilometers one way and 40 kilometers back, now I was fully exhausted. I badly wanted that beer and I badly wanted to enjoy the night that night. I was about to light. I get a call from Suleiman again. Come here. Come here. It was not clear. I thought it's a technical glitch or a network issue. So I and along my friend went to his room. As we entered the building, it seemed to be a spooky building. Okay, nevertheless, people are staying here. It could not be so spooky what we are thinking. Let's forget it and we stepped in. We see the room completely sealed with wall. Okay, this sounds a little. Okay, let's go on to the next floor. We slowly walk up the stairs. I see a room filled with cross symbols and its door was sealed with the metal door without a latch, completely sealed. Taking a big breath, we moved on to the 3rd floor. Without seeing left and right, I just opened the door and I went in. And I see all the 3 of them in the corner, fully crushed into a corner. I said, let's not stay here, come out. They replied, I said, what? They said, I cannot. I could also not talk that moment. My throat was dry, just now how it is. I could not move here and there. And I asked what happened. He said, go sit out. Go sit out. I went out and I see a girl portrait with 3 bullet shots, and right exactly opposite to it are the black magic items which we see in the movies. This silence was there with us for that. I just walked in to pull him. Door bang shuts. And we were shocked. What just happened? It was just because of the air, not because of something else. Without giving a second thought, should we be there or not, I just pulled them, grabbed all his luggage and we ran down. And exactly in front of the cross, we slipped. Everyone slipped, not only 1 or 2. Everyone slipped. Without wasting a moment there, everyone ran out of the cottage and we fought with the managers. By this, it was 4 a.m. My dream of having a chilled beer with the fire camp was fully gone. This is how I spent my first night in Goa. What happened a couple of nights next? I'll tell you next time. Master Toastmaster.
Thank you, DT Udanka, for that wonderful speech. Very regular first night in Goa. We all have seen. Let us move on to the second session for today, the table topics session. Our table topics master for today is a BCom graduate. Everybody's a BCom graduate pursuing his chartered financial analyst course. He wants to start a business in finance, asset management in particular. and he also holds the rare distinction of having spoken about drumsticks at Mekon Communication Club. With a big round of applause, please welcome our debutant table topics master, Toastmaster Sushruth.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Our MC has already given the glimpse of what table topics is, but still I give a reference for your understanding. Table topics is a section where I give topics and speakers come behind the lectern and give impromptu speeches about the topics. So without wasting much time, let's get into the topics. The first topic is, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why? This topic goes to Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. If you had a superpower, what would it be and why?
Thank you, table topic master. Good evening, Toastmasters, and welcome guests. If I were to have a superpower, the superpower that I want is I should know about my subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is one thing which records everything, whether you are in a wake state or in a sleep state, whatever dream state, whatever might be the state, that it records. If I could really get into and know what exactly is happening at the level of subconscious, I can really make my life better than at a conscious level. We all, in our real life experience, we take decisions emotionally, repent logically. Why this happens? Because at conscious level, only 20% we are able to take decisions properly. 80% we don't know what's really happening in subconscious level. So if I were to have one superpower, the power is I should know about my subconscious mind with a conscious effort so that I take a better decision and lead a happy life. Thank you, and back to you, table topic.
Thank you for such a wonderful response, Vijay sir. The second topic is, if you ever had a thought of getting stuck in an elevator with someone, who would it be and why? This topic goes to Toastmaster Pavani.
Can you repeat the topic?
If you ever had a thought of getting stuck in an elevator with someone, who would it be and why?
A very good evening, everyone. Thank you, table topic master, for that topic. If I ever have to be stuck in an elevator, with whom would it be and why? Maybe a very knowledgeable person, so that I'm not really sure, but at least I will not be scared. He will be there to give some gyan, and I really don't know what to talk, but I'm just trying to stay behind the lectern for at least 1 minute. Yeah, back to you.
Thank you. So the third topic is, today we have platforms like Tinder and Bumble and very much like for dating. But what was dating like back in your days? This topic goes to Toastmaster Mehjabin.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, for a 75-year-old man, first you should tell me what dating is. Because back in days, when 60 years or 70 years back, when I was studying in school, there was probably an unspecified or acceptable, understood segregation of sexes. Gender will say, the sex is a bad word here. So always, even if someone had a forget about having a date as the present generation is doing. There are so many sites, he said, I have never visited any one of them. I was really wondering now also what exactly is happening there. But after seeing all that crime patrol and all that kind of what is happening after that dates, then I am wary of what exactly must be happening in the world around today. Because and on the other level, I feel that I'm missing a lot of fun. The way things are presently, I did not have that kind of luxury. Even if I happen to talk to a girl, there will be 100 eyes prying in. What's wrong with this fellow? What is trying to do? Teacher, this boy is talking to her. That kind of thing. That is the kind of atmosphere that, level of, I have come about, I have grown about. So when I see the present generation, I really truly envy them. Let me tell you, I missed a lot of fun in life because the way our youngsters are enjoying life today, moving around so freely and all that. But only thing I feel that dating maybe for all that it may be useful for knowing each other, understanding each other, maybe leading to further relationship to even marriage and all that. That's a nice thing. It's probably a concept which has come from US. I've read about the stories of dating way back in US. Now it has come to India. It's a good thing, but provided we keep our good, vibes and understand each other, and without keeping ourselves in limit, probably that will make our life more fulfilled, and we can understand each other, and then we can it will lead to maybe a more, better relationship, leading to even marriage and all that. So I wish the younger generation all the best in their dating quest, and I only say that I still envy you. I miss it from my childhood. Back to you.
The W versus response, I'm really confused whether to buy Tinder Platinum or not. So the fourth topic is, what is your silliest fantasy? This topic goes to Toastmasters Sanjana. What is your silliest fantasy?
Silliest fantasy, what way? What way?
Anything you can say.
Silliest fantasy. I think it would probably be to not live on this planet or something. Maybe move on to another planet whenever I want to. Whenever I'm tired of people or something. Just switch to another planet where I don't know anyone. Yeah, I think that would be it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjana, for this response. My silliest fantasy was Hulk was wearing purple pants, so even I wanted that. The fifth topic is, what's one awkward situation that makes you laugh even today? This topic goes to Ujwal. What's the awkward situation that makes you laugh even today?
A very good evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Thank you, Table Topic Master, for giving me this topic. One awkward situation which makes me laugh even today is that, I've come across very much awkward situation, but right now in this hot stage, I'm not able to remember it, but it's fine. Just to my mind, what is coming is that when I go back to my PU days, first of all, our college, it was in, just in a single building, our Transition College. So there, our classroom was in 3rd floor. So and in our college and in my friends group, we had one adventurous and then I would say cheerful person, where almost every time while getting down after the college is done, and then when we are getting down from the third floor, almost in a week, twice to 3 days, every day she used to fall while getting down the steps. So even to this day, if I just remember those incidents, I really feel like laughing, because in front of all our friends, in front of all our classrooms, she used to fall, and she is none other than Sharanye Prasad. Back to you.
Thank you for such a humorous response, Ujwal. My awkward situation will always be drumstick in my introduction. The sixth topic is, what's the most unusual talent you have? This topic goes to Toastmaster Sindhushree.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sushruth. I would like to believe I don't have any unusual talent, but people who know me over here can pick at least a 10 in me. I'm very sure of that. So to pick one for myself was the most unusual talent is probably I can stay awake for the entire night and still function for the one entire week, and that's probably one of the unusual talent. But something that's not working in favor of me. But the other one that really tops of the list is I can watch continuously a minimum 200 episodes of Chinese drama, and I wouldn't even understand a thing in that. And I warn you, each episode is 1.5 hours. And every Chinese drama comes with similar set of actors. They all look very similar, and they have a same story plot where there is a king, there is a bride, and there is a whole set of family opposing the same king. And every Chinese drama, it could be Eternal Love for Freedom or King Phoenix or anything for that matter, you cannot differentiate the characters. You cannot differentiate between the plot. You cannot differentiate among anything. But I still have the capacity of watching minimum 200 episodes or at least 300 episodes and giving that much amount of my dedication to something which is completely irrelevant to something I would call as my unusual talent. I wish I gave such so much amount of my time to something that was really relevant to my life at least. But apart from that, I don't have any unusual talent, I would say. But if anybody would like to pitch in on my behalf, please don't hesitate. Drop a text. Thank you and bye.
Thank you so much for this wonderful The next topic is, if you could time travel to any era, which one would you choose and why would you do so? This topic goes to Toastmaster Jyothi.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, and good evening, Toastmasters. If I would given a choice to travel back to an era, I think I would go back to the era when I would be the Empress, because back then Empress would be much more revered by people, and of course she would be a bigwig, and a lot of power would be in her hand, because I'm sure me being the Empress, the Emperor would not have much say to it, and I would be actually having the say about what to be done, how to be done, with my very different aspect of looking into things, where I think freedom is more important than freedom is more important than to be told what to do and what not to do, because every individual learns from their own experience, and the own experience comes with the freedom they have. Most of us, we get the experience of whatever we go through because we were told to do something or the other, and we assume that this is our experience. But I'm sure if we all are given a choice and a chance, we would like to have our experience with our own freedom of thought, speech and act. So if I were to be an empress, be sure today there would not be any instructions or any schools that would just tell us to do what has to be done and what not has to be done, because the time that I had been an empress would have been so much impressive and impactful that it would be still continuing on. And back to the topic, master.
Beautiful response. If I could have made a time machine, I would definitely have made it, just to make sure there wouldn't be any schools. The next topic is best piece of advice you have ever received and how it influenced you. This topic goes to AKP sir.
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. The best piece of advice I have received and how it influenced me. As a teenager or as in the growing up age, we face many problems which is internal. We think we are not adequate this way, we don't look this way, we should have been like this, and whole lot of things that are very complex. If you are tall, you are going to be ragged. If you are short, kula, they'll call it. If you are tall, lambu. What is the weather there? So it can be anything. And for example, I was ragged because my hair is very much in the back, hairline. Even to this day, I comb my hair like automatically. So any number of problem. I had pimple, the problem. I was all the time we had a leaky nose problem. So each one, and I was very skinny. So you had any number of problems. At one point of time, one of my aunts, he said that don't think of anything, just do what is right for you. And also said one day she encouraged, saying that one day you will be really big and with a white chest. And hearing this, my father goes ahead, he said first thing that you have to do is to go to a gym. That gym is still there. It is there in Srikanta Institute, right opposite the current NR Colony bus stand. It's still there. My elder brother used to go, it's a dumbbell. It costs 3 rupees per month or whatever. So whatever little skinny, whatever little I had, I developed some muscle around. And that made me eligible to play cricket. So one bit at a time I overcame. But at that point of time, my father gave me a crucial advice, which has stood by me even to this day. There are times I didn't do well in exams, and there are times when I did well. All that time, one thing he said, setback is not failure. It's only a setback, it is not a failure. Any time of the day, any time that I see some kind of a trough going down, things getting pulled down, I always think of that setback is not failure. Better times are going to come, and it's the way I perceive, the way I see the problem is the problem. And that is how I still work on that dictum and motto, and I'm still there holding things together. And I consider myself fairly a happy person, contented person through one simple single advice that has stood by me for a lifetime. Over to table topic, master.
Thank you so much for such an insightful and motivating speech. The next topic is, what's the silliest thing that really scares you? This topic goes to guest Brigu.
Okay, hi everyone. Good evening, I guess, I suppose. What's the silliest thing that scares me? I think it's actually not that silly according to a lot of my friends. It's when I'm sitting in the toilet seat and a snake So it's like I always feel like, oh shit, I think I might, you know, I don't know. I always fear that you know, a snake might come and bite in places it's not supposed to. But no matter where I am, no matter I'm in the 18th floor or 20th floor, I just feel like that urge is there. So I think it's quite silly because I know it's not there. But one fine day, I open YouTube Shorts and there it is. That damn snake was actually there, and it's actually a common problem in a lot of places like Florida. So I feel like that's not so silly, but that's always kind of haunted me. It's like, you know, that's the one thing I could remember right now. Right?
The last topic for the day. If not this career you are in, which one would you choose? This topic goes to guest Apoorva. If not this career you are in, which one would you choose?
Okay, good evening everyone. So since I've earlier mentioned that I'm pursuing my chartered accountancy, so if not for chartered accountancy, I would prefer a career in event management, because I'm someone who always likes to take decisions on the spot, and I'm not very good in planning. Okay, maybe I'm good at planning but not at the execution stage. So event management is something where you have people to execute and you need to do the planning. So and I like meeting new people, talking to them and just moving on, a new day, a new event, and the result is very satisfying because it's when you plan an event for somebody, it's the smile on their faces, it's just how things happen gives you that satisfaction. So I would prefer that satisfaction to numbers anytime. So yeah, so I think event management would be an alternative career that I would choose.
That's it for the day. Thank you guys for such an amazing response and keeping the session crisp. And back to MC.
Thank you, Toastmasters Sushruth, for that wonderful table topic session on debut. And in celebration of that, we shall now have drumstick chips for snacks. No, that's not actually what we have. We shall be breaking for 10 minutes as a networking break. Welcome back, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. It's finally time for the third and final session for today. Our general evaluator is already wearing his tie. Well, he is a BCom honors graduate, another BCom graduate from Jain University. He has conducted speechcraft programs and a session on how to conduct hybrid meetings. He has been part of the Go Green initiative about cycling. He has been a past president of Macon Communication Club. And one thing about this man, he's a wonderful person, but he records and uploads our meetings week after week on YouTube. So some haters might say, your meetings, what is so special? Your speakers are not so good or something. We don't care, because we are like this one. With a big round of applause, please give it up for our general evaluator, Toastmaster Sai.
Good evening, guests and fellow Toastmaster. Wow, it feels nice to be back as a general evaluator after a really long time, and I'm excited. Before I head to the evaluation and the feedback session, I have 2 cents on the theme. A lot of us do certain things certain way. Like me, for example, I don't wear formal shoes for any of my formal dresses. I am like this only. I was expecting Ajay to be here, and I would tell he's the guy who'd never cut his hair. He's like that only. We all do certain things certain way, and we should be proud of it. A lot of us are not confident, are scared. Even if you're prepared to the most, you hesitate to put out your best. Regardless of what anybody says, when you are the same way, when you put your best foot forward, it really doesn't matter who says what, because you should be you. With that, let me head to the feedback. The meeting started at 6:16 p.m. regardless of who was here, who wasn't. That was an on-point decision that we took. I think that is something that we should have done a long time ago, but today being a very important day, we took it forward. Let's hope the best one wins today. It started 6:16 p.m. and the business session was short and crisp. It was just one update about the roles for the next week. Then we had the Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Pavani. One thing I liked about all the speakers who were here behind the lectern who spoke about the theme, nobody had a story to tell, but everybody had a daily life experience to share. We all go through our daily life, but how many of us do actually observe it? Take small instances as references in your speech. And this is what Toastmaster Pavani did. The way she put out a lot of experiences and situations totally was relatable and understandable to all of us. You're confident and you're present behind the stage. It's a leap and bound jump from you from the time you've joined here until today. For that increment in performance, can we have a huge round of applause for her? Next up, we have the president who introduced the guests. Coming to the guests, we had a few guests who weren't asked to introduce. I would ask them to introduce right now. I think ma'am can start with you.
Good evening everyone, I'm Dr. Savita. I was part of Mekon a few years back, that was before COVID. Because of the COVID, I couldn't rejoin back. And now I got my daughter because I used to love this session. The meeting, every session was electrifying and all the enthusiastic people, I would love it. That's the reason I just wanted my daughter to be part of. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Anusha. I just finished my third year at CS. And I've been hearing about this place for a very long time from my mom, and finally I felt like I need to be here, I need to witness what's going on and be a part of it, so I'm here today.
So all the guests introduced, was anyone to say?
Hello everybody, my name is Ranjana. I work for DXC Technology. I'm in HR. Both of us, we've been talking about, I'm with her, Apoorva. So both of us, we've been talking about joining Toastmasters, coming to Toastmasters, at least seeing what it's like, because we've heard a lot about it from our friends and other people. So now that we're finally here, it was a split-second decision. On Saturday we were like, we're going, Monday we're here, and we're really enjoying it. So we're really looking forward to this.
On behalf of the president, I hope you all become members soon. Well, then coming to the MOM, I don't have to tell how prompt the MOMs are in our club. The Monday the meeting happens and Tuesday morning 7 a.m. Even before you wake up, the MOM is in your email. How great is that? Every time I see the MOM, I remember how much effort it takes to get something like that. And not just that, it's easy for us to think that someone holding a phone or a piece of paper reading out the MOM is. But trust me, I've been there and I know how hard it actually. She's put in a lot of efforts to send the MOM and also read it. She does it really prompt, and can we have a huge round of applause for her again? Coming to the president's address, it was fantastic, relatable, and also really inspiring for all of us. It makes us think how small day life situations can really mean a lot to us. We may have been that place in the past, but we may not realize it. But he made us enlighten or throw limelight on it, and that made us a really stellar of a performance. Can we have a huge round of applause for the president? Well, I'll be diving on to the prepared speech session. We had the first speaker, Toastmaster Sharanye. Can I have the evaluation by Toastmaster Vijay Upendra?
Thank you, G. Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome guests. My target speaker, Shivaprasad in particular. Congratulations for completing level 1, project 4. I'll be evaluating your entire speech, what went well, excel, improvement, and summary. You excelled at your speech content and delivery were excellent. Opening, body, and conclusion were in place. You have a good storytelling technique. What I mean by that? You have introduced some characters in it. Girl, teacher, parent, etc. Which is very much required in any storytelling method. It's excellently you have done that. You have, with reference to the previous speech where I had evaluated, you had not used space behind the lectern well. This time You have excelled in that. Congratulations for that. Clarity of thought and the flow were in place. Your body language were suiting to your narration. These are all the excellent aspects in your speech. Coming to the improvement part of it, vocal variety, variation in tone, speed and volume in relation to character, that is very much required. What I mean by that, in any story narration, there are three things happens. One is character, contrast and conflict resolution. These three are very much important in any storytelling narration. You have very well done in character. You should have brought some conflict as far as the contrast part is concerned. Finally, you could have introduced a conflict resolution which makes the audience to understand what exactly you want to communicate. This one area that you need to improve so that you will be taking your speech to a next level altogether. But time taken, if I were to say, you have taken 8 minutes 21 seconds. Technically, you are supposed to take only 7 minutes. Overall, it's a good effort in applying feedback with reference to the previous speech. I observed great improvement in your speech. I want you to give more speeches in due course of time. You will be a good, effective orator and a good speaker. Back to you, G.
Thank you for that detailed evaluation, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. I like the structure of your evaluation, how you focused on where she could improve or how she could improve. You pointed out structure, the way method, and also the objective of how she could improve her speech. But one thing about an evaluation is we miss out giving the evaluation to everybody else. She may have been the speaker, but the audience is the entire room. Your eye contact, we're restricted to that. Maybe that's one thing, because if we, as a speaker, were to introduce or improve the next time we want to speak, her evaluation doesn't restrict herself, it is also for us as well. Maybe that's one thing you could look upon to. But nonetheless, to a great speech and something, this is something you've tried new for the very first time compared to the humorous style, and it was really great. For that great efforts by the speaker and the evaluator, can we have a huge round of applause? We have the second speaker by DTM Udanka. Can I have the evaluation by DTM U Bhat?
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and distinguished Toastmaster Udanka in particular. Every speech has got two components: the content, the delivery, and of course the language, which is secondary again. But when it comes to delivery, the greatest tool a person has got is body language and voice modulation. This project is about voice modulation, and the evaluator is expected to develop a profile of the speaker. In the case of distinguished Toastmaster Udanka, how he used his voice to enhance the effectiveness of the speech. Now the different characteristics of the voice, what you experimented and what you are expected to experiment in this speech was, first is loudness and volume. I think you have come extremely well in that, loud and clear, very clear, and it's not, I won't call it overly dynamic, vibrant, but okay, acceptable. As far as the pitch is concerned, okay, successfully varied. As you have used pauses, in at least one place I have seen where you are using that black magic story when you are talking about that, when you use the pause for effectiveness, great thing to do. And as far as the voice quality is concerned, there one thing I feel that your biggest strength is your voice quality. That is not brassy or nasal, and it's not harsh, and it's not lifeless. You have a voice which is, open, enthusiastic, and engaging and genial. That is your biggest strength, and you have to leverage on that. Even as you do that, you have to experiment with what you did today regarding voice variation, voice modulation, which you have practiced quite well. I won't say excellent, but definitely you have done very well. Particularly the voice, you changing the pitch of the voice is something that the door being shut when you use that. That was where I liked it really, and that whispering what you brought about. That pitch, varying of pitch enhances the effectiveness of the speech. which have done extremely well. Congratulations on that. And where articulation is concerned, one thing is, we have seen you for the last so many years, how you have evolved yourself, you have come up in the big, very, very big way, particularly with regard to three aspects: mumbling and mispronunciation. You have come out a long way in that. Today I couldn't see much about that. You have done quite well in that. This only thing that pausing, that where you used that pause black magic, I think you could have used a bit more effectively, I felt, or it was maybe in the wrong places. Where immediately after the pause, there should be some, you have to tell something in a loud voice, something really happening there. The black magic did not come that effectively as I felt. That's one thing I've seen. And as far as the timing or rate is concerned, it was quite smooth and fluent, and it was varied, quite, suddenly you are changing the pace of the speech. At least 2-3 places you experimented that successfully. Very nice done. Vocal variety is one thing, only area of improvement what I can see is being more expressive and bringing more emotion in the speech. Particularly the story which you are talking about, that girl being taken to the hospital, trying to take to the hospital. A bit more emotion would have increased the effectiveness of the speech. That's what I felt. And articulation of your words also, you have definitely come a long way, but still there is a path for development in that direction. But otherwise, and only challenging yourself is concerned, I feel that is not a one-day affair. Practicing, being aware of your speech by listening to your recorded speech again and again, and trying to be aware of your speech, your voice quality, and practicing this voice modulation in all the future speeches. Probably that is a challenge for yourself. Excellent speech. Keep it up. With that, back to Sanjana.
Thank you for that wonderful evaluation, DTM and U Bhat. I have nothing to add to that. I can tell you how to date, but I can't tell you how to evaluate. You've been an exceptional evaluator. And coming to distinguished Toastmaster Udanka, it was a beautiful story narrated exceptionally well about his first night in Goa. It felt like a very new speaker after a very long time. I've seen him speak for a lot of times, and today felt something new. That was really great speech. With that, can we have a huge round of applause for the evaluator and the speaker? The next session was the table topic session, and the table topic master, Toastmaster Sushruth. We had about 10 speakers, and a couple of them were guests. I liked how you introduced the table topic session. Even though the MC had already introduced, you took up the initiative to introduce it so that the guest who missed out would have been aware what exactly table topics is. I liked how you did that. A bit about the topics, some of them were pretty long for the members to quickly grasp and respond to it. Some of them needed to hear it twice. The general advice for a table topic master, for anybody, is to try and keep the topics as small as possible, because the member should not spend time thinking what the topic is, but thinking what to speak about the topic. That is the first rule of table topics master. And sometimes we often tend to get caught up in having a really hilarious response. We choose the topics accordingly. But some topics may end up being a one-word answer. It's really tough to build a story around it. These are the times when you have to put yourself in the position of being the recipient of the topic and see, will I be able to speak a minute or two about it? Can I take it forward? That is how you build a proper table topic. This is not for Toastmaster Sushruth entirely, but for anybody who's going to take up table topic master in future. But nonetheless, you had a really right set of speakers, amazing topics, and hilarious responses from everybody of them. For the debutant role, can we have a huge round of applause for Sushruth? Well, coming to the role takers, can I have the report by the Grammarian or DTM K Prabhakara?
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters. The word of the day was used by a couple of members. Both the speakers, project speakers used, and the MC used, I think, any number of times the theme of the day. that I didn't keep count because he may immediately use come more here. It's more like a machine gun he used it today. That's another thing. But that is how it is. But the best part of today's speeches was the usage of phrases. It was full. And in fact, I consider Sharanye, Toastmaster Sharanye, as very talented in use of phrases. Her speeches, it is not only today, but she uses a plethora of such phrases, and that makes the bulk of the speech itself. And she brings it up so easily as if it is almost conversation. And some of that I noted: existence for all right reasons, potential to do well, going extra mile, better version of yourself, show of hands. These are all just we use every day. But the way she weaved into her speech, it was so natural. And it gave the impression that she was just being herself. That is the kind of a level that she has built into the speech. And it made my day, I would say. That's one thing. And similarly, one such person who used made such usages was one evaluator, U Bhat, loud and clear, pause for effectiveness, voice is engaging, enhancement of effectiveness, just routine use, but they're all used in such a way that it comes naturally to you. And that's what I wanted to bring it out. And he used one other thing: you have come a long way. These are regularly used, but if you use in their appropriate situation, it increases the effectiveness. I didn't want to pick up flaws today, but I wanted to hold up what is right more, and that is the thing. And Jyothi, Madam Jyothi, used learning from experience, choice or chance. How it has been used, smartly used. And of course, our Vijay Upendra was the person who used consciousness, subconsciousness, level of consciousness. He had a very fine difference between different levels of consciousness, and he brought it out very well as far as the usage is concerned. And that's about it. Very well done. And one usage that was I want to point out, which was not appropriate, that is very hardly banging. He wanted to say hard banging, and it was hardly means nothing, but it is very hardly banging. No usage of such thing is there. It is hard banging. Okay, that is one. And rest I have told. Over to general evaluation.
Thank you for that detailed report on the Grammarian, and it was really appreciative of you, sir, for trying to bring the right usages more than the not so great usages. Next up, can we have the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator, Toastmaster Jyothi, give her the report?
Good evening, General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters and guests. All the big wigs and not so big wigs, we all kept up to our theme. We are all like this only, and refrained from talking about sex, politics and religion. We walked in and exited only during applause. There was no phone ringing, but except a phone, I think video or something got activated. So we can refrain from doing such thing from next time onwards. And with that, back to the General Evaluator.
Thank you for that creative introduction and the report of the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator. Next up, can we have the Accountant report by Mehjabin, Toastmaster Mehjabin?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. I had the privilege of serving as the accountant today. My role was to keep track of the speakers' use of filler words and provide feedback to help them improve their speaking skills. I would like to start by commending all the speakers for their courage and dedication in delivering their speeches. It takes great effort to stand behind the lectern and share your thoughts. During the meeting, I observed some instances of filler words being used. All were amazing except TM Pavani used 1 hour, TM Gaurav 3 hours, Toastmaster Shiva 2 hours, Toastmaster Pavani 3 hours, Toastmasters Jyothi 2 hours, DTM Udanka 1 hour, DTM Mehjabin 1 hour, and apart from that, everyone was flawless. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the report, Toastmaster Mehjabin. For that debutant role, can we have a special round of applause for her? Next up, can we have the timers report by Toastmaster Pavani?
Once again, a very good evening, everyone. Time is a limited resource, but our ability to make the most of it is unlimited. And today, most of us have conveniently used the time allotted to us. Here is my report. The business session went on for 23 seconds. The meeting commenced at 6:16 p.m. Acting Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Pavani took 3 minutes 10 seconds, but the time allotted was 3 minutes. The introduction of the guests went on for 1 minute 40 seconds. The report of the MOM by Toastmaster Pavani went on for 2 minutes 35 seconds, but the time allotted was 2 minutes. Presidential address was allotted 5 minutes and Toastmaster Gaurav has taken 5 minutes 57 seconds. Introduction of Toastmaster of the Day was allotted 1 minute and has taken 35 seconds. Coming to the Toastmaster of the Day, initial part was allotted 10 minutes and Toastmaster Shiva has taken 8 minutes 17 seconds. Overall, Toastmaster Shiva has taken around 15 minutes. Coming to the prepared speech session, Speaker 1 Toastmaster Sharanye has taken 8 minutes 21 seconds. Speaker 2 DTM Udanka has taken 7 minutes 20 seconds. The table topic session went on for 21 minutes overall but was allotted 20 minutes. We had 10 speakers in total, where 3 spoke above 1 minute, 4 spoke below 1 minute and 3 spoke about 2 minutes. Individual report has been put upon the board. Networking break went on for 12 minutes. Lastly, individual evaluator were allotted 3 minutes. Evaluator 1 Toastmaster Vijay Upendra has taken 2 minutes 42 seconds. Evaluator 2 DTM U Bhat has taken 3 minutes 49 seconds. The general evaluation session went on for around 9 minutes till now. Back to you, Ji.
Thank you for that fantastic report, Toastmaster Pavani. Well, finally coming to the man who kept it all up. We are like this only. I had to say it once at least. Toastmaster Shiva, your opening to the theme, the introduction of the role takers, speakers, evaluators, or even the general evaluator, was something personal. He has not asked me for the introduction knowing that he has my introduction from the past. Only goes to show that he didn't need it once again. There are sometimes when people ask for multiple times, but Toastmaster Shiva never bothered to ask. Goes to show how much effort and interest he puts in each role that he takes it up. He backtracks to something, gets it forward again. The introductions are on point. And the way you present yourself here, whether it's about the theme or whether you're a speaker or whether any role taker, it goes to show that the interest that you're trying to direct the audience into. It is a certain direction and all are following your way. That is something to really look up to. For that fantastic self-obsessed and self-centered Toastmaster Shiva, can we have a huge round of applause? Every day after the meeting, I go back home and I watch the recording again. To edit it, of course, but that's secondary. I watch it again only to see we don't waste a minute behind the lectern, no matter who it is. There's a moment of transition from the speaker to the role taker or evaluator, anybody, the whole line is upkept. It makes me wonder, are we doing it because it's a camera or are we really that conscious about others' interest and value of time? That's something that I'm really appreciative of each and every one of us here. Also makes my work less hectic because I don't have to see a lot. It makes me worry less about the gaps that I have to consider. I have attended a couple of other clubs meeting, not putting anybody down, but we really have held the flag really up high. For so many days and years, we've been doing that constantly. Regardless of anything, we are like this only and we are going to be like that. With that, back to Master. I totally forgot to mention, I request all of the members to kindly fill in the ballot that is being sent in the WhatsApp group. I'll give you the next 15-20 seconds. Kindly please do so.
Thank you, Toastmaster Snehal, for that wonderful general evaluation. Once I had read somewhere that a man who stands up for his own principles, that is the only man who will be remembered, right? My speech long back, "We are like this only," was making fun of us as Indians. But can we Indians say that we are like this only and own who we are? Right? Can we believe in ourselves more and be proud of who we are? That's the question you'll have to answer. I'll hand the charge back to the President.
Quickly, I can see that there are 15 members in the meeting room and there is only 12 responses. 2 more. Anybody is not responded, please do it. Yeah, please go on. Okay, instead of breaking the silence, I'd just like to thank everyone for being on time. We started on time today. Okay, I got all the responses. Thank you. So we'll be jumping off with the winners of today's meeting. With the best role taker MTG, it goes to our MC Toastmasters. The best role taker tab G, it goes to our timer Toastmaster partner. The best table topic speaker, it goes to TTM K Prabhakara. The best evaluator for today goes to DTM U Bhat. And the best speaker for today, it goes to Toastmaster Sharanye. Thank you everyone. Let's keep this consistency of starting the meeting at 6:15. There's still 4 more meetings left for this term, so let us give our best for the next 4 meetings. I close meeting number 1215. I request everyone to raise for national.